another Reeves
and Roach
podcast at the garage on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. I want to give another big shout out to the garage for having us here. They're one of our sponsors. Another one of our sponsors is
Essential Carpet Cleaners,
Brandtopia, and Your Paper Now. So what's up, man? I
Not
got
much.
some exciting news.
What's the news?
I made it. VWO.
It's official.
Well, I have to be knighted in, and I have to get my VWO tattoo. I'm looking at going...
Wait, so it's a VWO, so you have to be branded?
It's not a Vikings tattoo, no. It's a VWO tattoo.
Oh, so it is a cult.
It's not a cult.
If they make you stamp their symbol, it's a cult, bro. You're branded. You're cattle. Ready to be slaughtered.
I'm willing to.
Fuck that.
I'm willing to be.
That-
It's a sweet symbol.
You know, it sounds dumber and dumber the more you talk about it. It's cultic. You have to get a VWO tattoo?
Yes.
What if they rebrand?
Why would you rebrand
Well, what if
the
they
Viking
what if they
World
upgrade
Order?
their logo in 10 years, you know?
Then I'll have the throwback edition.
That's
I'll have a vintage tattoo. I'm just trying to decide on where to put it. You know, I was talking to Carrie about it last night, and it's like, maybe I'll throw it on my wrist here. She's like, absolutely not.
no, yeah, it
Like,
goes
maybe my shoulder blade.
no, right next to your vagina. We already talked about it.
Right next to my vagina.
Right above it.
Right above it.
Perfect.
Well, then how would I show it? Then I'd have to show
You
my...
wouldn't. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh.
No one
But
wants to see that.
I do have to show it for proof.
Gosh.
So I'm hoping week 3, talk to our buddy Camp. He's going to the Tampa game. So that's the plan, is to get the tattoo done and then get knighted in week 3 against the Buccaneers.
Is there like a specific tattoo artist you have to get it from too?
There isn't. No. I can do it from whomever I want.
I
Maybe Aloha Monkey locally.
I hope they refuse to.
They won't.
I hope you have to get one in an alley and, you know.
Nobody refuses money.
Well, I just think it's whatever.
So, I had to start off that way because I'm super excited about it. I mean, it's a lifelong goal. And the best thing is I was talking to Steen. Steen's like, oh, I think I found somebody to nominate me. It's like, well, I'm already in, you putz. So I don't even know what's better, being in the VWO or beating Steen and doing it first.
Well, they're both dumb. I'm sorry.
Who's both dumb? The VWO and Steen?
For wanting to get in. It's a cult, man. It's like Scientology. Just don't even try.
It's
don't
like
even,
Scientology.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah. They do outreach. And
So what? Give me a break.
yeah, right. A bunch of rubes just...
You can do outreach without a bunch of other weird... Are you sure half those guys can even pass the background check?
You don't have to do a background check to do outreach. Maybe for... what's-his-face's thing that he was doing with the backpack with all the tools in it.
If I got some weird organization like the VWO wanting to sponsor or do some event at my kid's school, I want them fucking background checked, man.
Out of all the 32 teams, I think the VWO is top 3 of the biggest fan base. They're not... The VWO isn't the only cult
Where'd you
in
get
the
this?
NFL.
Where'd you get this stat from? 'Cause
Online. Sid Davey, the president, posted it.
Well, okay, it's propaganda.
It's
I don't believe
propaganda. Everything's propaganda.
I'm going to have to do some research on that third highest.
Do you have a bomb shelter with a bunch of cans and water and everything's
that
propaganda?
would be sweet.
The government.
I've been looking at trying to buy, what do they call them? The shipping container. It'd be nice.
Oh,
It'd be sweet. Hell yeah. Put it underground in the backyard. No one knows about it but me.
Just dig it up and do it. Lots of controversy going on ESPN right now.
Yeah, well, a bunch of snowflakes, man. It's ridiculous. Everyone's a damn pussy. Seriously. Bunch of
that includes
pussies.
you then.
No, I'm not. I ain't a snowflake.
You said everyone. You are a snowflake.
No, I'm not.
You're a little white guy.
No, it's they took the Asian guy, poor Robert Lee, Bob Lee. They could have just called him Bob. Just called him fucking Bob. I mean, this is where we're getting at. Where we're so worried about what people think and we don't want to, ruin anybody's day or hurt their feelings. We all have fucking feelings. You're going to get hurt. You know what? I go to the grocery store and I got to hop to get the shit on the top of it. Happens. Life's not fair.
He can't even get the cereal he wants.
Life's not
too
fair.
High.
Yeah, it's too high. Fuck it. I'll just get the Frosted Flakes. Actually, I don't fuck with that cereal because it's got sodium phosphate.
Oh, of course. More propaganda.
Try sodium phosphate. I don't know. That shit's not good for you.
Okay.
Anyways, we're getting off topic. So ESPN takes off Robert Lee off of some game that he was announcing because his name's Robert Lee. Not Robert E. Lee. Not a white guy. He's an Asian guy. Because they're afraid, snowflakes are going to get offended. Fuck you.
And what does snowflake mean?
Pansy. You ever heard that the term snowflakes?
No, I
haven't.
haven't.
Little liberals that, it's not fair. It's not fair. Life's not fair. That's life. Get over it. You are where you are because you're a loser. You make poor, terrible decisions.
Yep. He'll probably get fired next.
You are
for
what
his
you
name.
are. It's so annoying.
Call him Wangley.
Well, and then the whole thing too with ESPN. And see, that's the thing is they people want to say they messed up last week with the whole. I don't know if they didn't really even. It wasn't even a huge story about it, but they had that 30-hour
fantasy football,
30 hours straight of fantasy football shit, and at the end of it, they did an auction draft.
Yep.
Where they had. I mean, the way it was set up. I mean, it kind of looked bad. They had like a stage and a podium, and the guy had one of those.
Looked just like a regular auction.
A little popsicle stick with the guy's face on it. Well, let's be honest. 90% of the players in the NFL are black. They're non-Caucasian. Okay, it's whatever. It is what it is.
We're better athletes, like we talked last week.
So 90% of the players that were getting auctioned are black. So here we are auctioning off. We're not even auctioning off real players. It's fantasy football. Put it in context, people.
Yep.
If you take things out of context, fucking everything is racist. Everything is offensive. Quit being offended. I'm just it just bugs me.
You fucking snowflake.
Yeah, everywhere. It's a joke. Seriously. Like, I'm serious. I gotta bully my kids a little bit because if I don't bully them, they're not gonna get bullied. They're gonna just get here's your participation trophy.
Yeah, God, that drives me
I'm sorry.
nuts.
So I gotta bully them a little bit.
I won't allow participation trophies in my house.
No, refuse.
Throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
First, second, third, yes.
Dude,
Participation, you can get a pat on the back from your dad, but other than that...
And that's part of the reason why I stopped wrestling, okay? I was...
Well, nobody was in your weight class.
Well, that's the problem. So I would literally... This is what happened. So I was in 7th or 8th grade. And
I wrestled with you at Nicollet.
I went to tournaments and literally... I was in the smallest weight class, and I think I was under. I want to say it was like
you were like 60 pounds soaking wet back.
No,
then.
yeah, I want to say the smallest weight class in junior high was 72 pounds. I was under it by 10 pounds. Okay,
62,
whatever, something like that.
Pretty much right on.
But I would still go. So I'd go to these wrestling tournaments, and literally there would just be kids that they didn't have anybody in my weight class. So they'd go, here you go, you won. And I'm like, fuck this. I didn't win nothing. I didn't drive all the way out to Shakopee to be handed a trophy because all these other kids are I'm too little for them. Fucking bring the big kid on. I'll beat him.
I had to wrestle a girl one time. This is one of the most awkward things ever. We had a tournament, I think, at the Burnsville High School.
Yeah.
So there's 4 people. I ended up taking 3rd place. And it was kind of the same thing. I broke this guy's nose.
Yeah.
I went up for an arm bar or something like that, busted his nose. I advanced. He couldn't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
His nose was broken.
Yeah.
And then I lost every other one. So out of the 4 people, I did take last.
Yeah.
But I broke the guy's nose, so I took 3rd.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this, it's kind of an ashamed medal.
Yeah. Well, then there's if there's only 4 people competing and 3 of them win a trophy, fuck it. Just give it to one person. He won. Everyone else is a loser.
So it was the first tournament. I did feel good about it going home. My bronze 3rd place. It's like I did break his nose, so technically that was a win, right?
It's not the MMA. It's fucking wrestling.
It was an accident.
You're not supposed to break bones in
I
wrestling.
didn't punch him again.
Yeah, but wrestling's hardcore, man. You get into high school, and I was like, fuck this. It's too much work. I don't want to run all day.
The only reason I joined the team is because when I moved from Eden Prairie to
Kids
Burnsville,
were dying, man.
I had seen them through the window at Nicollet that you could look down into the wrestling room, and they're playing dodgeball. I'm like, this is fantastic. They get to play dodgeball. I remember football practices. You're doing 2 days. And
football's easy.
Jesus, dodgeball. Sign me up. I'm in. Speaking of wrestling or MMA, John Jones, moron.
Yeah.
Stripped of his title because he can't. He said it was a sexual enhancement pill. What's a big black guy need a sexual enhancement pill?
Well, he's young. So he's going to claim that he's got erectile dysfunction at 26?
Apparently. That's why he failed. It wasn't PEDs, it wasn't steroids, it was a
Yeah, and we don't know
dick
yet, but
enhancer.
he failed something, and it's a banned substance. So, like, those guys, if that's your job, you know what's allowed in your body when you don't, and what you don't, you know? So, for them to play ignorant and say it was this, that, I don't buy it at all.
Why don't they just let him do
And
it?
he's failed drug tests before, so... Yeah, it's too bad. I think the thing is going into that fight against Cormier, like, I like Cormier because to me, John Jones is the guy he's been gifted. You know, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's you know, arguably one of the best fighters ever to fight, but it's because of his God-given attributes. Well, if you're cheating to get those attributes, a guy like, to me, Cormier, those aren't natural. That guy worked hard. And
Works his ass off to
he's a little porker. He's got a belly on him. It's not like this guy is, you know, molded from you know, into this machine. He had to work hard to get where he's at. So I like a guy like Cormier. So when he lost, and he was fighting pretty good against Jones.
He did.
You know?
It was close. I mean, I didn't see it live, but seeing it back and hearing about it from people that know what they're talking about.
But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I hope, to be honest, like, John Jones is fun to watch, but, like, I mean, he was already out for, you know, a year or whatever it was. I don't know.
Let him take it. That's the whole point of the sport, is to get out there and beat the shit out of people.
I know,
Who
but
cares if they're taking performing? I want to see him take it so
Sure.
they can be faster and bigger and stronger.
But they're already faster, bigger, stronger, and I'm pretty sure that they're already allowed to take some of that shit. It's just a certain tolerance. It's not steroids, but I know they could take, like, growth enhancement. And they just have it, you know, section off where you just can't be over a certain, you know, level.
You know, it's like baseball. Baseball's so boring.
I agree.
Who cares about them taking steroids?
That, to me, that means nothing.
Yeah.
Because you still have to have hand-eye coordination to hit that freaking ball.
Yeah.
You try to go to Grand Slam and hit a ball at 60 miles an hour, I guarantee you you're going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah. Which I wasn't very good at hitting.
Not me. I'm a switch hitter. I can do pretty good.
You weren't a switch hitter.
Not now, but I can go to the batting cage and hit left or right. You want to leave right now after this and we'll hit up Grand Slam?
Yeah, we'll go to Grand Slam.
It's all rocket left and right, both sides.
Right.
60 miles an hour.
I'll Facebook Live it.
Let's
and
do
prove
it.
To people.
Fucking be great. Prove it.
I remember when my dad, when my dad was coaching us, he was on the third baseline, comes up to me and he wants me to bunt. Like, I got this, Dad. Struck out.
Yeah.
That was a fun car ride home, let me tell you that.
Idiot. Listen to me.
I was not a good hitter. Oh.
Yeah, I will say that. I wasn't necessarily a good hitter then. Because, you know, you're kind of intimidated. I mean, let's be honest. It was BAC, so the kids are good, but they're not great. Okay? You're bound to get beat. I actually only got beaten one time, and it was on purpose. I forget what the kid's name is, but me and him didn't get along. And I knew when I got stepped into the plate, I'm like, this fucker's going to beat me. I knew it. And sure enough, I got beaten. I played on his team, and I was probably a dick one year. Because, like I said, I always played on a team where the kids were fucking...
I was on the dynasty
They wear fucking
teams.
jeans to baseball.
Yeah.
You know, you don't wear jeans to baseball. I don't care if it's BAC. Take your ass home, you know. I'll bring you a pair of my pants. You can wear fucking these tight-ass pants. I don't care. But you're going to wear baseball pants, okay? If anything...
We wore sweats and shorts.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anything, wear some sweatpants. Don't come here in jeans and flip-flops. You're really going to piss me off.
Yeah, high school, they didn't have, you know, you could wear shorts, cutoffs, all that. Like I said, I went on a drought, we'll call it. 4 games, maybe.
Yeah, see, and if
Didn't have a hit.
If you would have taken a couple of the kids on your team and taken them off, you know, maybe,
I was
maybe that weren't
fortunate-
as
I
good,
was
like Borber
fortunate enough.
Excursion, you know, or who else was on your team?
Chad Anderson.
He could beat me at hockey, but I can outplay him in baseball.
Yeah,
But you would have put me on that team, we would have.
Playoff game, Chad's
It's
running
over.
in left field for a fly ball.
And we
Overran it and the ball went by him.
beat you guys that one time.
That one time.
Not
Not in the playoffs.
beat you. We beat you guys. That was the year we had.
We were probably hungover.
Probably. Well, no, that's not true.
High and
That's not true
hungover.
because, yeah, a couple of you were probably high, but you weren't hungover because we played on like Tuesday nights. When you getting drunk on Monday after school, I doubt it.
I don't know. Camp might have been.
Yeah, some people, I guess. Probably a couple kids, but. Anyways,
But so the drought streak, I finally get a hit. We're playing at Eagle Ridge, right? I get so excited, and I'm ashamed to even be saying this on air. So excited that I leap over first base without touching it. Woo!
Because you hit because you got a hit.
Because I got a hit. They tagged me out. because I leaped over. I didn't touch first base.
Yeah, see?
I threw a fit and then got kicked out of the game because
Baseball wasn't your thing. It's all right.
It wasn't.
Yeah. You were a beast in the boards in basketball, though.
Oh, yeah. I could
You couldn't jump, but you just fucking elbow people. Just get out of here.
rebound with the best of them.
Thick little Reeves just pushing people around.
So you going to watch the fight this Saturday? You know what fight I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still debating if I'll rent the fight. I probably will.
Why would you rent it? Oh, because you stay at home in the confines of your own home.
I got the kids this weekend, asshole.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Take them to the movie theater.
Yeah, I'm going to take... Yeah, we're going to go watch a bloodbath. No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be a bloodbath. But I'm not taking them and paying $40 a head for these kids. So then I'm paying $120 to go to the movie theater when I could sit at home and put them to bed at 9 o'clock before even fight starts? No. I'm watching it at home like a normal person would do.
Well, if you rent it, maybe I'll come over.
Well,
actually, I don't know if I can. I got my fantasy football draft on Sunday, and I don't think the old lady would let me out of the house that often.
Oh, yeah, the weekend. She's trying to take the weekend off.
She's still bitching that she's owed a couple days, and it's like, then take them.
Yeah. Well,
nobody's saying you can't.
See,
that's
where you messed up, because you need to know your schedule ahead of time and set something up the week ahead.
I didn't set the draft up.
But you need to have your calendar ahead and know that a fight's coming up and know that your draft's coming up. Know that you need to take the weekend off. And a couple weekends before, just give her a reason to go do something. Say, oh, well, you know what? I got nothing going on this weekend. Why don't you go hang out with Kelly or whatever? Go to Babes, whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah, just go.
Be home. But you didn't set yourself up, so you gotta set it up. And now look,
I don't care about the fight that much to waste a night on I can watch ESPN the next day,
and I don't really care either. But I mean, I'm intrigued by it. I'm intrigued by it. I want to rent it. But when that direct TV bill comes, I'm gonna be like, fuck. Especially if the fight's boring, which it probably will be.
I don't.
12 rounds. Conor will be. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Conor's gonna lose unless he just gets a nice. What I want to see it for is I think he's just gonna get pissed because he keeps missing because Floyd's the best defending boxer to ever live, and then he's just gonna roundhouse kick his ass to the ground.
And that could have against Tyson him. Just so gets so pissed he just kicks him.
Just kicks him, and I'm already gonna make $200 million. I'll take a $10 million fine.
Right.
For just kicking your ass in the face.
Is he going to make that much? He's not making that much.
I heard Floyd could make up to $300 million.
Well, yeah.
McGregor, he's going to make at least $100 million, I think. When you sit down and work it out, that's what you work out.
Yeah, I suppose. That's just nuts to me, man.
So let's talk some football.
Skull Vikes.
Your favorite team?
Of course, man.
But you hate on the VWO.
Yeah, I hate on a group of weird men that get together and watch football and paint their face. Yeah, I think it's weird. But we're talking about football, not VWO. We're going to touch base on that. Okay? You know how my feelings are. I ain't going to change. Especially if I start meeting some of these knighted fools, Or is it knighted? They've been knighted.
You get knighted in.
Oh, my God. I take it down a notch. It's gay. I'm sorry. It's gay. It's gay. Anyways.
So, Vikings.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Well, they played better last week. A lot better. They looked a hell of a lot better. Offense line, Dalvin Cook. They stopped him a little bit, but then he had those long runs. So
Dalvin Cook is my boy.
Yeah, he looked good. But,
that was without, our full-strength offensive line, too. And he just fights, for just a little guy. And we had touched on this last week, I think he had 46 touchdowns in Florida State. That's a school record.
Whatever. The pass is live in the front, move forward. And I'm not counting his college touchdown. Let's see what he does in the NFL. Yeah, he had a lot. But so did, what's his nuts? From Virginia.
Noel Devine.
Good for him. So fucking who cares? He had.
I do.
He had, He had.
You've never even watched any film on the guy, ever. Have you seen any highlights of him
you
from college?
Film like you got a fucking room in your house. You got tapes of players. You watch the same film shit stream. That I do on YouTube that you only watch when ESPN puts it up on the draft.
No.
So I've seen the
every
same
morning
shit.
When I wake up and have a coffee and a cigarette, I Google Vikings, Dalvin Cook, Timberwolves.
So you're an expert.
Maybe I'll start dipping beef jerky.
Dalvin Cook, college, fucking.
I'm a Florida State
Okay,
aficionado.
we were talking Vikings football. Now you're trying to bring up some stupid bullshit about
Oh my
film.
God.
You don't watch film.
I do
I'm
watch
not a
film.
coach.
I do watch film. I break it down.
You can't possibly break down a YouTube fucking video.
Yes,
That's
I can.
not film.
It is
No,
film.
it's not.
I'll break it down right
It's
now.
not fucking film. Shut up. Give me a break.
I used to watch NFL films.
Just
and
go play
I've seen
Madden.
I do play Madden.
Yeah, and
that's how I know how to break
you
it down.
create your plays and be a coach that way. Oh, you can't pass the background check. I forgot. So that ain't happening.
Yep.
So back to Vikings football. They're going to have some tough cuts, man. I don't know. I mean, if you look at last year's depth chart,
Yep.
we carried 2 quarterbacks, 4 tight ends, 4 running, or it was 3
Which one of which is gone now? Tight end.
Yeah, we had 3 running backs and a fullback. We carried 8 defensive linemen, 9 offensive tackles, the 3 special teamers, and 10 DBs. So if you look at it like that and you break down the roster that we got, it's going to be tough because guys like Sharif Floyd, well, I don't really know what's going on with him.
He's a putz.
Well, I mean,
He's
it's not
so
a putz,
good,
it's not
but
a
he
putz,
can't
it's
get
not
on the
his fault.
field.
Well, he had a nerve issue.
can't get on the field.
But he had surgery, and he had some issues with the surgery. You can't predict that. He's in that 10, 20 percentile that when they have a surgery, which is no big deal, it turns out being a big deal. You can't really blame him for that. All you got to do is take
I
it
didn't
one
blame him. I'm just a fan that
Okay,
I never see him on the field. So
because he's got a fucking issue
I
with the
hate him.
surgery that
He's
he had.
always got an issue.
Okay, anyways. So he's kind of the wild card because if you look at our defensive line, and we carry 8 guys, you're looking at Everson, and I don't have my fucking notes, so it's going to be off the top of my head. Everson Griffin, Daniil Hunter,
Tom Johnson.
No. Tayshawn Bauer, who's going to make the squad. And then if we carry 8 guys, and then you got Brian Robeson. But Stephen Weatherly's been playing really, really well.
Yeah.
And Brian Robeson, this is his 11th season. He hasn't played at all preseason, And so if we keep him, and he's only got 1 or 2 left, Weatherly's not a guy that you're going to be able to put on the practice squad. He's going to be picked up by somebody.
Yeah, but you're not going to get rid of Robe. You're not.
We're not going to get rid of
Robeson.
I'm just saying.
I heard a good take this morning.
If there's a big veteran cut on this roster, it's going to be Brian Robeson. And it's a possibility, especially when he's hurt. He's in 11th season.
He also said he'd be ready for the regular season.
And you can't give up that youth, So
you can
it's
for
gonna
veteran
be tough.
leadership.
So here's the thing, though: if we end up if we only end up carrying 3 defensive tackles, which would be Jaleel Johnson, Linville Joseph, and I think Shamar Stephen.
Tom Johnson.
No, Tom Johnson's 32 years old.
I don't
Shamar
give a
Stephen's
shit.
26. He's got way more upside than Tom Johnson. So you got to look at it like that. You got to look at it.
You got to look at it by proven on the field for the team.
How much they get paid. Okay, if you want to be a champion team, put yourself in the Patriots' perspective. Would they keep Tom Johnson at 32 years old when they got a young guy who's just as good? And Tom Johnson and a guy like Brian Robeson, they're at the tail end. They're in their 9th, 10th, 11th year.
Oh, so let's just cut them. See ya.
Well, Mike, what are you going to do? They're not a practice squad player. You're not putting an 11th year guy in the practice squad.
Yeah.
So there either is an injury or they get cut. And I'm just saying, if there's a guy on this team, veteran, that's going to get cut, it's going to be Brian Robeson. I don't think Jarius Wright is going to get cut. Right now, we carried 6 wide receivers last year. I think we're going to carry 7, and we'll carry 3 tight ends. So instead of carrying that 4 tight end like we did last year, we'll carry 3.
Yeah, I think you're right there for sure.
So they'll either take that extra roster spot that they had for tight end and either put it for the defensive line and keep Brian Robeson, and now you got 5 defensive ends and 4 defensive tackles, or they're going to keep that, or they're going to take that position and load it up on receivers. Because right now you're looking at it either like a Jarius Wright or, in my opinion, Rodney Adams would be cut. And he'd be practice squad because Stacey Coley's proven that for the couple games that he's played, he looks like he's going to be a pretty.
Remember when I called that Rodney Adams touchdown at training camp?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be a pretty good receiver.
So does Rodney.
And with Michael Floyd being out for 4 games, I don't see us cutting Jarius Wright. He already took a pay cut.
We're not cutting.
He's
him.
a veteran guy. He's still young. He's only 26 years old. He's been in the league for 6 years. He's been on with the Vikings. So I think he's less likely to be cut than Brian Robeson. That's just me. And then when you look at the offensive line, it's going to come down to either we carried 9 guys last year. So if you take that and we look at this year, The guys that are on that ninth guy is either going to be, and it's probably going to be Jeremiah Searles. That's who I think they're going to end up going with because he's more versatile. Otherwise, it's going to end up being it's going to be between him,
TJ Clemmings, and
what's his nuts? He doesn't even play much, so whatever.
So
it's going to be one of those two, and it's going to be Searles. Searles will make the cut. That's just me.
I think Clemmings is going to make it.
He won't make it.
Yes, he will. Okay.
No, so
you got Clemmings out, Robeson out.
Yeah, I got Clemens out, Robeson out. I've got and that's just what this team needs more than anything is we need one of our backup offensive linemen to be a long snapper. We're wasting a roster spot with McDermott, what the fuck his name is. He plays 3 plays a game, whatever.
Yeah.
Is a long snapper. I mean, it's a specialist that does one thing. And if we had a backup center, if Nick Easton could be our long snapper, that would be huge for us because this team desperately needs it with how much depth we have in multiple positions. Where we're at, the weakest is defensive back, corner, and secondary.
Yep. Mackenzie Alexander hasn't really stepped up and shown anything,
no. and guys, I think that 10th corner, I think there's still guys.
I
think there's still a couple of spots being left to fight for, and that ends up coming down to Brian Robeson, beating out either Shamar Stephan or Stephen Weatherly for that 8th or 9th spot.
So I have a question. Is your hatred towards Brian Robeson because of the time when you worked at Outback Steakhouse and he didn't tip or pay his bill?
There was a story with Brian Robeson one time, but no, he was a cool guy. He came into Outback all the time.
But there was a story where he didn't.
There was one time when he came in where,
his card got declined.
Got declined.
How does a Vikings player's card get declined?
Maybe it was expired. His card was declined. And
now you're defending him.
Between him and his wife, because it was a while ago, and I'm not exactly 100% on the details. I wasn't serving him.
Oh, okay. You were.
But I know
you were working.
I know a Viking player when I see him. So he came in, and we're like, "Oh, it's Brian Robeson."
Yeah.
But he was there with his wife and another younger girl. That younger girl ended up taking a phone call, and we ended up taking a card number over the phone.
How embarrassing.
I don't know the circumstances exactly. The guy wasn't broke, but at the time he had no cash on him. He had no way to pay. But no, I like Brian Robeson. He's been one of my favorite Viking players, that we've had. But if you're looking at it in a realistic perspective, he is a legitimate guy who could get cut. He hasn't played all year or all preseason. He's down to one of his last couple seasons left in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's admitted it, and we've got a lot of depth up front. I mean, whoever we cut is going to make a squad. We don't have too many guys on the defensive line that we're going to cut that we're going to be able to practice squad. There's not too many.
No,
we're going to be practice.
We're very strong.
We'll practice squad. One of the running backs, Ham will make the team, but we'll end up putting on. Newbie on the practice squad. Newbie will be on the practice squad. Rodney Adams, a couple offensive linemen and defense linemen will be on the practice squad. I don't know how many they carry, if it's 6 or 10. I think it's 10 maybe.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
And I'm not too familiar on the whole and that's another thing too. I think, and this might be a big surprise, I think Taylor Heineke will make the squad over Case Keenum. I think they're going to try. I think they'll try to trade Case Keenum because if the reports are correct that Teddy Bridgewater was really close to playing.
He was practicing as of yesterday.
So, 2 options. If he stays on the PUP list, he'll be back. That means he can't play for 6 weeks.
6 weeks. So he'd be back week 6 to be the backup of Sam Bradford.
But I think he'll be playing before that. So I think if you go into the season, you're not going in. I don't see us going in with 3 quarterbacks.
No,
it's not going to happen.
We're not.
They probably will. They'll PUP Teddy. They might.
They will PUP Teddy.
They probably will just to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then Taylor Heineke would be practice squad. And Case Keenum will be
backup.
2.
Yep.
But then at some point, one of those 3 have got to go. And I don't see Case Keenum coming in week 6 being on your practice squad. He'll get snagged up in a second.
He will, and that's fine with us.
But I don't think the Vikings are willing to release Taylor Heineke and let him go into the open market if they know that Case Keenum is going to be gone midway through the season. And furthermore, I don't think we're the type of organization that's necessarily going to take advantage. It's not taking advantage because they're paying him. But I don't think they're going to have a guy like Case Keenum on board knowing that they're going to cut him halfway into the season.
Well, they're not going to tell him, but that's what's going to happen. So I would think it sounds
more realistic, especially in the NFL with the quarterback market it is, to trade Case Keenum, get something out of him, 5th, 6th, 7th rounder, go into the season with Teddy Bridgewater as your second quarterback, and then have Taylor Heineke running the practice squad.
I don't think Teddy's going to be...
Figure out what's going on.
Teddy's not going to be cleared by week 1 to play.
Well, then you go, but he'll be out. I'm just saying, we don't know that.
They pup him.
But I don't know. I don't think they will. Because if they can pup somebody else, they will.
Well, not if they don't need to.
Well, because Taylor, the reason why they brought in, what's his name? From the Gophers.
Mitch Leidner.
They brought in Mitch Leidner is because Taylor Heineke is banged up and he wasn't practicing, so they needed somebody to come in and take snaps.
Good old Lakeville South's Mitch Leidner.
Well, he was in town. It was a cheaper flight, so just come on in, hurry up, get here. We don't want to pay all this money.
Part of it is Bradford's not going to be, he will on Sunday, but after that, the starters aren't playing anything. And
they get a look at him, and who knows? And maybe they are going to cut Taylor Heineke, so they're looking at him to bring in, Leidner later to run the practice squad. I don't know, but I just personally think they'll try to get rid of Case Keenum, and keep Taylor, because I like Taylor. I really do. I
do too, but Keenum's looked fantastic.
Keenum's looked good, but Keenum, you're already going to lose him. He's only signed a 1-year deal, so he's not here long term. He came here to try to get an opportunity to get another contract.
Yep.
So he's not even a long term guy. He's going to be gone anyway. So we're not going to get rid of Taylor Heineke just to keep Case Keenum for a year, unless the Vikings are going to do something with Bradford or Teddy and keep Case as their backup going into the future.
I just trade Teddy.
Hell no. Peace the fuck out, Sam Bradford.
Oh,
Teddy is my
no.
man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sam...
Blasphemy. I love Teddy, but you're not getting rid of Sam.
Bye.
Okay.
Buenos noches. Here's the
Thanks for the fill-in. We gave up a first-round pick, and
shit happens. You needed to be competitive. Oh, well. You got to keep the fans in. Dude, it was our first season with the new stadium. We needed to fill the seats. We couldn't go into that was more a PR thing than it was to really
it wasn't a PR thing.
But it was, though.
No.
It was partly PR, because they have to put something on the field that makes them look competitive to bring people there. They just...
Well, of course. But that's not PR.
$1 billion on getting a stadium. They need to fill the seats, which
that's called running a team.
Which
Giving up a first-round pick isn't a PR move.
But it's a business. Part of it is they look at all aspects of it. It's not just a specific roster move. Yeah, they did it because we were hurt, but Bradford, arguably, he is the most expensive player in NFL history.
He made he was the last player to get the first overall pick money before they changed the rule. Yeah, he's rich. Well, he was a Heisman Trophy winner.
But for what teams have paid to get him from the Eagles to the Vikings, I mean, it's just been ridiculous.
He had a nice year.
So I'm just saying, but what he does, Teddy can do too. I'm sorry. I'm a believer in Teddy.
So let me guess.
And I love Teddy Bridgewater. And if I had to pick, I would pick Teddy Bridgewater.
You would also kneel during the national anthem then?
No, I wouldn't kneel during the national anthem. I never said I would. What I said, Mike, is that I respect their ability to do that in America. I don't agree with it. I think if you're going to do that, have it not even to do that. You need to know your stage. And when you do that, the way Kaepernick did it. See, now the way the guys are all doing it, they're doing it in groups. They're
big circles. The Browns had,
the sheep.
White guys are kneeling with them.
The sheep
and
need other sheep around them to
and
feel protected, and that's why they're doing it in a group. So they're not getting singled out. Which I get it. It's great. It's a good brotherhood. They're sticking together, and they're gonna, as a group, of saying if you're not gonna just take one of us out of the NFL, you're gonna take us all out. So I kind of get their reasoning, and I respect their ability to do that. But then you're going to understand every action you have in life has a consequences, has a reaction.
A reaction has a reaction. Yeah.
So, it happens.
Part of Sundays, though, that...
He had good intention, but he's got to look at the big picture of it, And now you got, the NAACP, I believe, is out there saying they want to boycott the NFL.
Atlanta's not going to play football and all this bullshit. It's like, football's my favorite sport in the world. The reason I sit down on Sundays is because... the week's been shit.
Yeah.
Life's hard. Life sucks. I just want to sit down and watch football.
Yeah.
And now they're throwing, this shit in your face. And it's like...
Everyone's a fucking snowflake. Seriously. Too many hugs and kisses growing up. That's not it, because I give, Harper Snugs all the time. But
yeah, I love
but
hugging
still,
and kissing my kids.
come on. Stop being such a baby. It's just ridiculous. It's always me, 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 me. Just whatever.
So there's 4 rookie quarterbacks that are making some light. They said it was a pretty bad rookie quarterback class this year, and now we might have 4 starters. Which 4 am I talking about? You even know?
First of all, we played 2 preseason games, so we don't really know how good they're going to be. Yeah, like Deshaun Watson looked good.
Yeah, he looks really, really good.
But we don't
and
know.
who's he? He's got nobody to go against.
Tom Savage, but Ryan Mallett's going to be cut.
Ryan Mallett's gone.
He's terrible.
He's horrible.
I was mad when we didn't draft him too. I was like, "Oh, Ryan Mallett!"
Yeah, I remember that.
I was so
big
pissed.
6'6",
Yeah, But yeah, he's a druggie.
Is he?
Yeah, he got busted in college with like cocaine. I'm pretty sure. It could be incorrect. I don't want to say that, but I know he got in trouble. It was for something. But I know it was for. I'm pretty sure it was drug use. Whatever.
So Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Kaiser for the Browns.
Yeah, again, Cleveland has nobody really. I mean, Brock, I don't know. I heard a lot of the guys.
They're trying to trade Brock. His $16 million contract is hard to trade. Nobody wants to have it.
Well, but they're not going to trade him because they had to spend their money. Well, they did that to spend the money. That was a reason. They needed someone on the roster to take up that chunk of change. They had the most money going to free agency than any other team. They needed to spend that money. So they spent that money. Brock Osweiler will be gone. That was just part of the deal.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I got into it with my mom and my brother, and they were saying, it was a whole deal that they were going to trade and get Garoppolo. And I knew that wasn't going to happen. I knew that wasn't going to happen, and look, it didn't happen. I knew it. It would be stupid in New England to do that.
Yeah, that's their heir apparent. I mean, that's their predecessor, the plan for...
Well, that's if, I don't know. Tom Brady may play another 5 years.
He might.
So, but still, yeah. Half the reason why these rookie quarterbacks would play anyways is because there's shitty quarterbacks in the NFL. It doesn't really testify to how good they are. It's more so how shitty the NFL is with quarterbacks. And, and the lack of, really, there's a handful of good quarterbacks, and then the rest are kind of right in the middle.
Trubisky's been out playing, what's his fuck?
Again, it's preseason, and it's only 2 weeks. So, yeah, they look good, but we'll see,
John Lynch came out and made the Bears look even stupider by saying that they had, they traded up one spot.
Well, yeah.
Mortgage the draft.
Yeah. Well, the reason why they did is they were afraid somebody else was going to jump up and do it. So, they did it in fear that if they didn't make that trade, that somebody else would have made the trade with San Francisco. So, John Lynch was probably telling them, hey, you either got to pull the trigger now or I got whoever.
Yeah, I got 3 other teams that want Trubisky.
But, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean anything for me with the rookie quarterbacks because it's, we're 3rd week into the preseason. So.
Well, it should be a big testament. I'm kind of pissed that I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones watcher.
I've never watched it. Want to, just never.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I heard it's great.
So they schedule, the 3rd preseason game is when most of the starters play for the majority of the game, and you really get a good look at it. And typically preseason games aren't on Sunday nights. Sunday night football.
It kind of sucks.
So the season finale of Game of Thrones is on Sunday.
I got my draft on Sunday night, too.
I got my draft at noon on Sunday. And then the Vikes game is on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I can DVR Game of Thrones, but it's the season finale, man. I mean, last week's episode was...
Well, see, the last 2...
insane.
Last 2 preseason games, I didn't watch it live. I pause it, wait for about an hour, and then I start watching the Vikes game.
And what's nice is I can pause the live TV. So if I need to take a phone call, talk shit to you,
no one's calling me. And if you are calling, if I'm taking a phone, I won't take the phone call. If it's like you or like my mom, somebody I know is going to come talking about football, I don't answer.
That's why you didn't answer.
Or first thing to answer, I'm not cut up. Don't fucking tell me nothing. I'm paused. But it's preseason, so who cares?
I do.
But I don't care if we win. I don't have to see it live. You know what I mean?
I get that.
With a regular season game, I will shut off Which it only happens like once a year where I might miss a game or I might miss part of the game, and then I literally shut my fucking phone off. I ain't turning nothing. You can't look at anything. There's people on Facebook giving updates. Like, we just scored. Well,
I gotta check my fantasy during the game though.
Well, that's the thing. You can't even do that.
I can.
You can't because it'll give you. It'll tell you. If I got Stephon Diggs on my team and he's got 8 points, I know some shit's going down.
Oh, if you're not watching the game.
If you're not watching the game, yeah. If you're watching the game, of course, I got my laptop. I've got DirecTV, bro. I got more than one TV going, bro. Yeah,
the worst, is it was kind of a double whammy, but I would, sometimes Kinley would come during Viking seasons. We'd have to drive down and, Sundays and leave her, and it's like, shit, I'm missing the game. You get, reception cuts out about an hour into the drive, so I can't even hear shit.
I wouldn't even listen to it. I wouldn't. I'd just put on a podcast, listen to some Rogan or something, and just drive and shut off and not touch my phone.
You could listen to our podcast.
Yeah, I don't listen to myself or you.
So Kyrie finally got traded, not to the Wolves.
Kyrie? I know you, man. I'm just being a dick.
Yeah. No shit.
Kyrie, yeah, he got traded. Boston looks like they got a sweet deal out of it. Cleveland got a sweet deal.
Cleveland did get a sweet deal.
Yeah. And I'm not necessarily as big on Isaiah as I am Kyrie, but
he averaged 29.8 points a game last year.
He's a better puppet for LeBron than Kyrie. Kyrie's grown out of the puppet stage and he wants to take on his own. So it gives him an opportunity to be a leader in Boston.
Boston's a good place for him, I think.
Yeah, they just don't have the depth. So
Boston has huge depth.
Well, but they're not going to be LeBron.
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum that they just drafted. Al
doesn't
Horford.
Matter, but they're not gonna be competitive against Cleveland.
No, they'll meet them in the Eastern Conference Finals again, like they did last year.
Yeah,
and lose.
Maybe I don't know. We'll see. It's possible.
They will.
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't really got into basketball.
I'm pretty sick of listening India, so we're gonna end the show with that and. Tune in next week for episode 5. We appreciate you all listening. This is Reeves signing out.
This is Roach. Goodbye, snowflakes.
See ya.